Have you heard the urban legend about the Green Man? Or perhaps Charlie No-Face? What you may not know is that this isn't an urban legend at all. The Green Man, or Charlie No-Face, was a real person named Raymond Robinson, and this regional myth is based on a true story that's even more macabre. If you grew up in the 1950s and 60s in western Pennsylvania, you probably heard of a monstrous creature called the Green Man, a no-face man who stalks remote roads at night. He even has a brief mention in the 1994 book Ghost Stories of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. Many of the locals tell this legend as a man that glows green as a result of being struck by lightning or a fall into a vat of acid, or otherwise transformed in some industrial accident, and he haunts South Park, the North Hills, or the skinny country lanes around Washington, Pennsylvania. Marie Werner, who grew up in Elizabeth Township and graduated from Elizabeth Forward, long before high school knew about the Green Man. You had to beware of him along South Park's Snowden Road, a twisty, woodsy, unlit stretch popular for necking and other pubescent trick and treats. The legend goes that he roams that hollow late at night and chases the Parkers and the loafers, said Werner. I never saw him though. The Green Man persists in the imaginations of the locals and the teens who still hang out along the road. The Green Man is a big topic in the high school. The legend is still very strong. Joe Paleski, South Park historian, confirms that the nearby tunnel, that Piney Fork Road and its namesake creek follow under the old B&O Railroad, is known as the Green Man Tunnel. Like others, she describes it as a spooky-looking spot, though she knows that's not the only reason it gave teens goosebumps. Born on October 29, 1910, in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, Raymond Robinson was just a regular boy for the first 9 years of his life. He played with his friends and found fun in the fields and streams behind his parents' home. But on June 18, 1919, all of that would change forever. On that day, Raymond and his friends decided to play at the Pittsburgh, Harmony, Butler, and Newcastle Railroad Company Bridge spanning Wallace Run. The bridge carried massive amounts of electricity, and it was nowhere for kids to play. He was reaching for a bird's nest at the top of an electrical pole when he suddenly shocked with 11,000 volts of electricity. The high voltage shock burned Robinson's face and arms, leaving holes where his eyes and nose once were. Nevertheless, Raymond refused to take this tragic injury as a reason to seclude himself from society and spend the rest of his life in a family home in Coppell, Pennsylvania, making doormats, wallets, and bells to sell. Reports on the case stated that he decided he would only leave his house on night walks he took in the dead of the night to avoid scaring people. It was from these walks that the legend of the Green Man started to develop, when high school kids would spot him from their car walking along State Route 351. When locals found out that the famous legend was walking up and down the Coppell New Galilee Road in the middle of the night, they did everything they could to get a peek. People regularly gathered to see Robinson on his walks, but more often than not, he avoided contact with strangers. Most of the people that went to see him were very nice to him, brought him cigarettes and beers to pass the time, but there will always be some rotten exceptions that mistreated Raymond and played cruel jokes on him. However, the way he saw it, he had already been robbed of so much in his life, he wasn't about to be robbed of his beloved walks. Even though Robinson was, by all accounts, a really nice guy, the urban legend around Green Man and Charlie No-Face grew throughout the area. According to those who believe the urban legend, the ghostly No-Face walks the Coppell New Galilee Road in Big Beaver, or he can be found in a railroad tunnel in South Park, an industrial area near Pittsburgh. People in Pennsylvania still believe that he is either a ghost or some shocking creature who grew up in filth after his face was melted off. Locals still go on late-night adventures to see Charlie No-Face, driving down the same highway that Robinson walked in search of a ghoul that never was. He passed away in 1985 at the age of 74 of natural causes. But though he may be gone, the legend of the Green Man and Charlie No-Face will continue forever.